introduce you to Jody Crocker. She is the library director at the McCook City Library, and she does more fun stuff than anybody I know, and crazy stuff happens there. So there's all kinds of stuff going on. And she has a faithful sidekick, Tracy. There she is. That's Tracy. And Jody's going to give us a rundown of what's been going through her head this year about Tails. Oh, you got to unmute. There you go.
Unmuting.
Unmuting.
Hello.
Hello. There you are.
I am. Yay. And I'm not the techie person in the room either. Poor Denise and Autumn have gone through this with me. So yes, what's going through my mind, you don't even want to even venture in. We had somebody shot through a window last night, so we've got a bullet hole in a window. I've got a faucet leaking out front. Yeah, we don't even, yeah, whatever. Anyhow, so yes, Tails and Tails. Let's see if I can shuffle my screen here so you can see my lovely bulletin board I adjusted behind me here. And stuff, so, well, sort of, maybe no. Maybe this way. You can see more.
There we go. Now we got it.
Sort of. So we have, and I'll stay right in front of this fact. So Tails and Tails. So we're going to talk about Tails at the end and tall Tails at the end too. So lots of Tails and Tails we have. So we did some vines, I had some monkeys and a chameleon and a lemur. I had a jaguar sit at the top and a snake wrapped around and a toucan. So lots of tails. And then out the bottom, of course, we got some tall tails.
Hey, Jody, we have a hard time hearing you when the screen isn't pointed right at you.
And that's probably not a bad thing, Autumn.
No.
Okay, let's get started. I'll stay right in front of the screen. And my assistant here, if you catch her hand once in a while, it'll be okay. So I sent a big packet out also with lots of papers, ideas. You can use them, not use them. I sent you all a beautiful hat to wear. I sent you to some binoculars so you can find those kids. Hey, these actually work too. Amazing. I've tried them before. So you can use that. So we're just going to kind of go through what's in your packet. We are going to make a couple things. So leave your screens on because that way I can actually see you're cutting and gluing. Yes, exactly. So we have a Lion and the Mouse handout. It's just a matching game that you could put in a packet or you could do as a group. We have just, I'm big on coloring pages, so I threw in a color page of the Lion and the Mouse. I need my book. Oh no, not yet. Never mind. Don't mind me. So we also have, if you're having a group of them, maybe you'd want to do some animal workouts. So we have this where they can frog jump, bear walk, gorilla shuffle, starfish jumps, cheetah run, crab walk, or some elephant stomps. Maybe you'd want to do these around your library on the outside. Go so far with one, then change and go so far with another one. Maybe you'd want to do that. That would be fun. We have some mix and match. If you want to, I know Denise had butt magnets and stuff that you could do. So well, that's what I gave my son some of those cat butts to put on his refrigerator for Christmas. Maybe you want to do heads and tails. So I got a pizza box from our local Pizza Hut, and you don't have to put all of them on there, but since I cut them out, I thought maybe we'd put them all on there. So you could put one head up and a couple tails and make them pick and decide which tail goes with which head. You could blow them up and put them on a wall. You could send them home as a mix and match and they could figure it out from the cells, bring it back. They get a match up right. Maybe there'd be a prize involved that way. You could do that. Then we have, for another game you could play, and I'll have to have Autumn remind me how you say this.
Axolotl.
Axolotl fish.
Axel.
And this is in one of the puppet choices. If you want to get one of the puppets from Denise of this guy, he is pretty cute and stuff. But this is information or facts that you could hang up around the library, in the library, and they could go around and find the clues and figure out what the answers are. But it's all about this fish, and these are different fishes. This is a shoe bell. That's a bird. There's I don't know what that is. That's a devil lizard. There you go. But different animals, you could put up clues around the library and they could figure out whether they're true and false, turn that in for a prize or send it home with them. Then also with the axadoodle, I'll never get it right, so don't even try. And stuff. So this is find him. So this way you would just hide pictures of him or her around the library, and then it's got some facts on the bottom of it. And then when you got done, they can take a little quiz and fill in the blanks. So there's the puppet. Denise is showing you the puppet, what it looks like. He is so cute. Then you could answer the questions like that as another quiz. For this would be something maybe for the little bit older kids who know how to read already. They can look and find the answers for that. There's my right hand going again. We also have, you could come up with some patterns. We have this pattern, or we have this pattern, and maybe they have to tell you what it is. Well, of course, this one is a peacock. This one, okay, you never know what that one is. This one's a snake, but you could make up all different ones. I'm not sure. Got a giraffe, zebra, turtles, but another for younger kids to match. They could figure out what the skin goes with which animal. I'm trying to find the hardest. Oh, this one. That was the hardest one to me. I'm not for sure. But it's actually a starfish. So you could do stuff with that around, inside, outside, or in a bag. Those would work as a matching. If you want to purchase some games, I have come across a few. Here's a Telltale game. It's just some cards and it has pictures on there. And then you basically have to make up a story that goes with it. Here's some tools that you could make up. Here's a campfire. And then they're going to have to fill in and kind of make the little story up. So it could either be one sentence around the group. Everybody adds a sentence to the card to make a file or to a story. Or you could send a card home if they bring it back, or if you don't care, it comes back. And they could write a little short story about their campfire and tell a tale, a wacky tale. I had a lady who donated a cube to me. So I put pictures of different animals in it. And this one you could roll and roll it out. The kids could roll it out if they were in a circle, rolled out. And then you could have a question is, what is their tail used for? And they would have to tell what this animal's tail was used for and stuff like that. And there's a little, I got notes on everything. Little book, of course, A Tale of Tales, which could go along with any of that. So we have a Tall Tales game. It's a board game. If you're letting them in the library and want them to sit and play, they could play that, a small group of them. We have Crocodile Dinner. I'll see if I can turn the side of it. It has masks in it that they put on that makes them look like a crocodile, and then they have to eat things. Way fun. Tracy and I are going to play that one later this afternoon. Maybe not.
Can we get a recording of that?
Yeah, that would be good. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
That would be interesting. So some other ideas to go with some books. We have The Legend of the Beaver's Tail. How did the beaver get his tail and why does it go that way? So something you could read. And then of course you could make, okay, let's do this. A Woman of Many Hats. So now we have our beaver Of course, now so you can get my ears. You can make beaver headbands for the littler kids. That's included in your packet. You have a template for that, so that is in there for you. If you're looking for something for, I'll put it back on because look at my hair now. So if you're looking for a snack, you're looking for a snack, maybe you'd want to make a Pringles. Now I tell you this boy, if I ever get settled today. This is a stubby Pringles can, but maybe you'd want to make him into a beaver. There's his teeth and his ears and his tail. And if you leave a little spot of this open, if you're giving it as a treat, they'd know what kind they got because they come in a variety pack and stuff. That way they could pick which kind they want and stuff. Or you could be really cruel and eat all the Pringles before you send them. That'd be okay. Of course, we have our famous paper bag puppet as a beaver. And you should have a template for that in there and stuff where they just have to cut out all the items and glue them on a paper bag. Oh, we're switching animals now. Oh, okay. So we have the Crocodile's Tail book. Like to tie it into the crocodile. He looks like he just had lunch. I know how he's feeling, like that, and stuff loaded back. So of course, we have our, I gotta have to take my hat off again. So we have our crocodile mask that the kids could make. And you have the template for this. This is a very simple cut. And I put ribbons on it so they could tie it on the back of their head. They could wear that as you read the crocodile tail story. We have our crocodile stretchy puppet. Put a little unicorns in him. You can make him a long crocodile and he could go. And we have another headband. Oh, this is the favorite. There's another headband if you want to be the crocodile. You could go along and munch on things as you go.
I do like that one.
Yeah, I know you like that one. That's a favorite. So going with some animals maybe that are a little more recognized to people. We have some dogs. Here's a book that do your ears hang low. So it has different, I'm gonna open it up. There's a dog. Well, I don't know if that's even a dog. That's a lot of ears and stuff. So we have that one. Here's one if you have a dachshund. Here's how dachshunds came to be. It's another book. And in your package, you have a template. You could have them. This might be for a little bit older. It's a little more delicate on cutting out, but you have a template for a dachshund with a big long tongue that you could cut out and have them. It's just a fold. Once you get it together, you fold it and glue. Not too hard. Our next animal we have is a koala. Stumpy tail koala, why they have their stumpy tail. You can find out all that information in this book. Not going to spoil the end for you. Get it? Stumpy tail end. I know. I don't hear me laughing. In your package, there you go. In your package,
hear my snort, Jody.
I know. In your packet, you should have got a little koala bear with his arms folded around some chocolate for you. That's a Hug Me Koala. Could have been used for Valentine's Day or could be used for this. You could put a lifesaver in it or a gummy lifesaver or a little candy bar or something would also, he could hug in there. And once again, that's a simple cut, pretty cheap little treat if you were sending something home for that. Here's a koala puppet and God, Tracy, you bend his ear. So dangerous with him. Yeah. I don't pick on her like this all the time, people. Just okay. Yes, I do. Okay, this is just an easy one because this was just fold a bigger paper in half and stuff, and then we just glued the white on and painted in the black, and then you have a hand puppet for littler kids. That was easy. Okay. Oh, we're ready. Okay, I'll put my hat back on. Okay, we are ready for our first craft. So you have in your bags, and we are going to do something with the book about the lion and the mouse. So in your packets, you either have a baggie that has yellow and orange paper and black and CD on an audio disc, or you have one that has pink and black. So you'll have to get your papers out. You should have some paper, a couple CDs, and some eyes. Most of you. If we packed it right, I'm missing an eye. Got to move that phone. Thank you. So if you have the yellow and orange paper, we'll start with that one first. What you're going to do, and you can put them together if you can cut, you're going to cut lengthways up on your yellow paper into strips about an inch wide, and then you're going to cut them across in half. So you're going to start with that. If you have, lost the other one. If you have the black and pink paper, I'll lose my eyes here. Out of the black and pink paper, you're going to cut with the black, you're going to cut more or less like a flat bottomed half circle, and you need 2. And then with the pink paper, you need the same thing, only smaller, so they fit, the pink fits inside of the black. Everybody understand? Just nod like you do. There you go. I think I'm doing my job then. So if you have yellow and orange paper, you should be cutting strips up and down and then in half. If you have the pink and black, you need the big half circles and then a pink that's going to fit inside. Everybody's leaving. I had to go find scissors. We'll give you a 15 seconds. No. Give you a couple minutes to get your scissors.
Look at Sally's digging right in.
There you go.
Loves this time.
Go, Sally. She didn't get to do this last time.
I'm not sure I'm doing it right, but I'm doing it.
Okay. Oh, you got, she's got her hat on.
Is this a half circle or a full circle?
Well, it's kind of a half circle.
Okay.
Flat
good.
on the bottom and then up and around.
Okay. And I'm in.
You're in. Okay, perfect.
I need 2.
You
Right?
need 2. Well, you could use 1, but it won't work. It won't look quite as right.
It won't look right if you only have 1.
That's right. And also when you have the orange and the yellow, you have a piece of black. You need to kind of do not a real sharp triangle, maybe more a triangle with rounded edges would work better from the black on that one. And if you have the black and pink, after you cut your half circles, then you need about 6 little teeny strips and 1 strip that's a little bit wider. I could just show them, then they know what they're supposed to be doing.
Pink or black on the little strips?
Black.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll show you. If you're making the pink or black, this is what you're working on.
Oh.
This is going to be your mouse. So you have your half circles for your ears and your whiskers, and then you want some kind of a curly tail. And after you get everything cut out, you have 2. And I know Denise has extra, but I have, if you have 2 discs, so you want to set your paper in between your ears and your tail in between your disc, and then you're going to glue them together, and then you're going to glue on the outside your whiskers. You can cut you a pink nose. You could use a pom-pom, and then of course you're going to glue on your googly eyes. That's for your mouse. If you're working on the orange and yellow, you are making a lion for the Lion and the Mouse story. And I just did 2 different ways so you could see the mane. I fringed one and I just curled one. And I did put a tail on mine, but you don't have to put a tail on yours. Then you need your black triangle and your googly eyes, and then I just with the marker made his mouth. So
And if you find yourself wanting to do this project, but you don't have enough CDs, all you need to do is contact the system office and we will send out a massive quantity of CDs. And you can make all the lions and the mices that you want.
Exactly. Or if you're closer to me, I also have massive quantities of
I'm sure glad you girls got those plugs in.
I also have paper towel tubes. Oh, I can't do that yet till I do the possums. Never mind. I will push that later. I got lots of things to push here. Please take. How are we doing?
Yeah,
Nod.
My
Nod,
glue
yes.
is no good. Can I borrow somebody's glue?
Yeah. That's too bad the commission won't buy you some glue, Sally. I'll send you some. It'll be late, but I'll send you some.
I had one, but it's been sitting for too long. It doesn't.
Oh, all right. Well, keep your pieces together and you can put them together later.
yes, because she does have a bag this time.
Yes, she does. When you get it
Wait.
done, put it up. We'd love to see it. Oh, there you go. Sally's showing us her ears.
got
Good,
my
Sally.
ears.
I know we don't have a lot on camera today. They must be hiding.
The shy group.
That's what I normally do. Somebody's still gluing. I can see them.
Of the ones on camera, man, you can see them working.
They're working hard. They're working
Yeah.
hard. Oh, there she, oh, there
Look,
Sally's got her
Sally.
ears on. Just have to, you need another piece of tape.
Sally, don't feel bad. I went to use my whiteout today and it just came out clear liquid because I haven't shook it in months.
That's too bad.
It's not dried up yet though.
Well, you have hope.
That's right.
How are we doing? Oh, we're good. We're good. Need whiskers and a tail for your mouth, your mouse, and a little nose for your lion. You could also put a stick on these if you wanted to make them into a puppet. The kids could hold them and puppet them. But this would go great with your book, The Lion and the Mouse. Boy, such concentration here on this. Give you about another minute and then we'll move on and you can keep gluing and while I'm showing and telling.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. And what's his name?
I can't wait to see Stephanie. She's working on a lion. I saw yellow paper.
Yeah. If you got them part way done, you can put them up so we can see how you're doing.
Sally's got whiskers.
Oh.
She dropped her paper. Oh no.
Dropped a whisker. It'll be just one short. No more. All right, she's still got paper. We're good. Just keep forgetting the kids are out today. Oh, that's okay. I don't think they'll be here long enough to notice actually, so.
And no blood yet. I haven't even cut myself yet.
Hey. Yay. I hope you have Band-Aids,
Oh, look.
yeah.
There's
Here
Pawnee
comes the-
City.
Oh, there's part of a library from Pawnee City, or part of
Hey,
the Lion, not part of the library, part of the Lion.
part of the lion, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Look at Beatrice. Oh, he's cute.
I can't see them all. I hate to touch anything, then I'll screw something up. Okay, well, you keep working on this and we will move on and show you a few more things. But watch your scissors and not me if you're still cutting. Don't go that way. Another craft you can do, and I have paper towel tubes. If you need them desperately, call me. Well, this is one I had to back up on. So we made us a possum family. You could just do one possum or have all the kids do a possum, and you could hang them up somewhere in the library. Or you could bring a tree branch in and hang them all over the tree. They could put their names on them somewhere. It's just very easy. Wrap paper and a heart for a face and a pink pom-pom and a couple little teeny googly eyes.
Those are so cute. I can
I
just
think
see
that
them
one's one of
hanging
my
all over.
favorites.
I can see them hanging all over
All
the
over.
library.
Oh, he's the phoenix. He goes after the mermaids. Yeah. So then, of course, mermaids and they have tails. And next year, I understand it's oceans, so you could use the mermaids next year too, and stuff. And they have all sorts of mermaids you can do. So I got air everywhere. So you can just do a simple paper bag mermaid and her tail and stuff. That's a very easy one that way. You can do it a little fancier if you want to get some glitter, more glittery paper for the girls to cut out. They can do it that way. You want to go really crazy, you can give them some yarn hair. Well, I got to have it in the front so they can see it. Some yarn hair get it out of her eye so she can see. So you could do a yarn hair for your mermaid. She needs to go to the beauty shop, I think. And stuff. So you could do something like that. Just punch holes and all they got to do is tie the yarn across the top. If you want to do that one. For the boys, and I didn't send this template with you, I had to make my own so you can make your own. But the boys could do King Neptune if they wanted to, with the beard and his pitchfork and his tail. So you could have that. So that's all in there. Of course, for the little bit older, boy, my sheets are out of whack. I guess it doesn't matter anymore, does it? Anything to do with Harry Potter and stuff. There's a template in your book of paper that has to be cut out, and then it tells you instructions on how to put Phoenix together. You could have them make their own Phoenix and use real feathers if you wanted to. They could make a long tail for the Phoenix and out here and stuff. They could cut out the pattern and glue their own their feathers on there if you wanted to make it more feathery and stuff. So that would be with Harry Potter. Ew. Okay, behind me up on my bulletin board, I had a snake, and I did send the templates for the snakes, and they have some different patterns. And so, oh, there's a mouse. I saw the mouse.
And
Oh, and there's the lion. Very good, very good. Good job. So you have a snake, and he does come with his tail, and he does have his rattlers at the end. Make him any color. We have more trouble with eyes falling off. So I did send you that template is in your packet if you want to go with something that colors. If you just want to use plain paper, we have a one-eyed snake because his eye's laying here. You can just use regular paper. Of course, make your rings and hook them together. Here's his face with one eye missing and his tongue. If you wanted a way to keep track of how many books they did, this might be something. Every time they read a book, they get to add a ring to their snake. I can imagine some kids here at my library, this snake would go around the library probably twice by the time summer's reading's empty. But if you had a place that you could hang them and stuff and down a wall and they could just keep attaching it, you might be able to do that. So any just colored, they don't have to be this big, but if you don't know me, I make everything huge. So
That is a fun idea for,
yeah,
instead of having to keep track of a book list.
yeah, just give them a piece of paper and they can hook another ring on their snake and away they go.
Mhm.
We have some things to show you. We have
That's another lion.
missed him.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw him. That's good enough.
Yeah.
To
good
go
one.
with, are we into tall tales? Gotta change hats. Not quite. Storm Along, who is a tall tale, and the giant didn't know much about this guy. He happens to be huge, but he is a seafaring man. So he goes out on the sea, and of course, we know what's going to happen. They have trouble on the ship, and of course, it's a giant octopus or a squid. I guess an octopus down below when he goes down and saves them. So to make an octopus, we just did a kind of a splatter of I did two actually, so I did pink and green. A splatter pattern, and then I used a styrofoam ball that's painted. You could use a big pom-pom if you wanted to. And then we've got lots of bedazzle. So we let them bedazzle and put a couple eyeballs on them and stuff. So a very simple craft that way. Hello. Oh, my UPS man is here. So we have those if you're, and that's just to make sure you get the right amount of legs, because some kid's going to tell you if you got the wrong amount of legs there, I'm sure.
Mhm.
In I believe in the manual, it talks about maybe you want to make some bookends. Kids can make some bookends. These are date due boxes, but any little boxes would work. I did put a few rocks in them and then just wrapped them in some paper, and they could pick out any kind of animal they wanted since they're on to tails. We did the lemur and stuff. So if they've got just a little teeny small library at their house on a bookshelf or something, this would work to hold their books up with the little animals. So that would work. Crunch. We have our whale, and he's just simply cut a strip of paper, and you cut one strip of paper that's got the kind of the funny tail there, and it wraps around, and then one piece of white, and you just draw lines on it to make it look like his teeth. Roll a piece of paper and cut your fringe and a big blob of glue on the top, and that makes his water spray. So if you were doing something with whales and tails, again, would work for next year's theme with oceans too. So some of these, if you don't use them this year, you could save them and use them for next year. For the little bit older kids, speaking of Harry Potter, we had the Phoenix, and maybe they want to create the monster book that comes out from underneath the bed. So I did the monster book, and here's his eyes. I gotta flip his cover up. And there's his mouth, and it comes out from underneath the bed and chomps and stuff. You could do that. And then inside, my right hand was getting a little in a hurry there. She was grabbing it before I was done. So you could print off some stuff from Harry Potter, or they could make up their own spell if they wanted to. Here's the Peddler's Disguise formula, how you do that. Here's the Truth spell, Book of Spells, or they could just make up a couple stories or something, and it would just be a place for them to keep their papers or their journal or whatever they're doing. Maybe you want them to write every week they come to the library, write a little bit. This would be a place that they could keep it. And once again, this is made out of a cereal box. And if you are in need of a cereal box, please let me know. I have several hundred. I won't need all of them. If you would like to come pick them up, or we can get them to you some way, please let me know. That's the way we're pushing that. I also sent in your box besides your good binoculars to find the kids. I sent you a little fold up piece that folds into a pair of binoculars. And these actually work really well too. These aren't very, I think I got these from Oriental, I'm pretty sure. But the kids could decorate them, put their names on them. They could color them up and take them home, or you could leave them. You could go outside, see what they could see up in the trees. If they could see any animals or any birds, or maybe somebody walking by with a dog, or they could take them home and make a list of everything they've seen till they come back the next week and see you. So you have those in there. See, watch this. Oh, my tail fixer box. Most libraries, I'm sure, have this Cat in the Hat book, a tale about tails. So this is a real good one, of course, for our theme, because it talks about the different animals with different tails and what they use their tails for. So you have, do they have names? These are the same two kids that got in trouble when they went to, with the Cat in the Hat. Oh,
Yeah.
Yep. This is Sally and Nick and stuff. Well, they're looking at all these animals with different tails and they want a tail. So they talk to the Cat in the Hat. Of course, the Cat in the Hat has this fantastic tail-a-fixer machine. So they push the button on the machine and then it gives them that tail. Then they come out with that tail and here they got their monkey tails. So now they're going to swing from the trees like a monkey does. Well, so I created my own tail-a-fixer machine. This is miniature size, probably for what I will have. We will go big size. I'm going to say a freezer box that we can have the kids actually crawl through, and I will just either plaster it with pictures of all kinds of tails on the inside and they'll crawl through it. Probably will put a button on the outside of it or in the front of it so they can pick. I can't squish enough. So they can pick what tail's coming out, which kind of tail they would like to be. They can crawl through it. Then you didn't see that, did you? They'll crawl through and then maybe at the end there'll be a craft table with colored paper or something, and then they can make their tails. If you wanted to do something small on this size, then there's a big hole in the box and they could reach in and pick out a tail. We have a cow tail, we have a skunk tail, a tiger tail, giraffe tail. Oh my gosh, we have all sorts of tails. And you could either send them home with the tail or they can have to pick one out and guess who the tail belongs to, and you keep the tails. These have little clips on them, so they actually could click them to the back side of their shorts or their pants or something and leave with a tail if you wanted to do that. And I decorated that box with some old jacks and some old slinkies and etc. If you put whatever else you want on that. So yes.
And what's that called again? A tail-a-fixer it at all?
Tail-a-fixer. Yes.
Oh.
So we're going to do our other craft so we can be done with that part of your tail. So in your bag, you should have a bag that's got a washcloth, a rubber band, and a couple of eyeballs. And I picked the easiest, there you go. I picked the easiest one to do. You can go online and they will show you 100 zillion different ones to do. These are just very cheap washcloths from Walmart. Was not real picky about what color. I didn't think it really mattered. You get more white than you get anything else, but maybe you have. I did not look at Dollar Tree for these. Maybe they have them at Dollar Tree. Autumn, Dollar Tree expert. So anyhow, but very cheap. So we're going to start with this. We're going to fold it into a triangle. So you're going to fold it so it looks like this. Got that. Then from this edge, we're going to roll it. And you want to kind of roll it tight. But at the end, we're gonna leave a little knobby. So you're gonna roll to about like this. Very good. Then all you're gonna do is this which way to go. You're gonna take him and fold him in half, your little knobby out front. Then we're gonna take kind of this bottom part, we're gonna just push him up in the back. So then he's gonna kind of look like this. Then we're gonna take our rubber band and he's gonna go around him. He only has to go once, doesn't have to be tight. So then you look like this. Sally's going, no. I need to back up. Got him? Then you're going to take this little beak here that's sticking out. We're going to split it open because that's going to be our mouth.
Well,
And
Honey
then-
City said back up a little bit there.
Okay, back up. Where do we need to back up to? Before the rubber band? Okay, so you have this.
You had a diagonal triangle and then you rolled it and
Rolled
left
it to this. Leave a
top.
little piece on the top. Then you're
Okay.
just going to fold him down.
Okay, they said the step right before the rubber band is where
Okay.
they got lost.
Okay, then we're just going to fold him down. Then this tail part here, I just fold him up. This way. And then the rubber band's going to hold those two and be around. Then here's my beak. I've kind of unrolled him now. Now he's a huge beak. Oh, we can't have that. That's the funniest looking one I've ever seen. You better re-roll.
I re-roll it so his beak's a little smaller.
We don't want him. He would eat the entire universe, I think. Then just put your rubber band. That just holds him together. Then you have your beak and you can push the bottom one down and the top one up so it looks like a mouth. So it opens up. Then I didn't find him at the time, but you have probably glue on googly eyes. I found my stick on googly eyes. So then you put his eyes on and you have a penguin. One washcloth, one rubber band, two googly eyes, you got a craft. Not, Sally likes this one.
Oh, look at Sally. She's
Yeah.
so happy.
It's a lot easier with the washcloth than my paper napkin I tried last
There
time.
you go.
It worked
Oh,
out.
look, there we go. We got penguins happening.
Yes, cool.
Hey.
They work. Good. Some other ones they had on there that weren't too difficult. They have a jellyfish, which would work for this theme or next year. Lots of tails. And that is still just one wash rag. But you have to go, you can just Google, washcloth animals or photo origami animals, whatever. Then here's the turtle. And once again, he's just one wash rag. You rolled from one from each side and then wrapped him around. And then just, I said, I found my stick on Google Eyes, so that works for that. So there's some examples, and they have lots more. They had a stingray that I had that fell apart, but he was actually 2 washcloths, but he was really cool. And you can make him with a bath towel if you wanted to make a display. He'd be huge. He'd be really cute. Yes. So now we're going to move into some tall tails. We're going to move away from tails. We're going to move into tall tails.
Jody,
So-
Tony from Shelton said that that's a cute and simple project.
Yes, very cute.
Nice.
And I said the other ones weren't hard either. So just have to watch the video a couple times and go from there. So thank you for that. So tall tails. So this is one of our books. This is a you read to me and I'll read to you. So they're alternating, but I was just gonna, it's falling apart. Good thing I
We
got
can
somebody
fix
that can
that.
mend that. Yeah, so I just wanted to, see, that happens to everybody. And today is my day. So this book is about funny tales that are both short and tall. Both short and tall at once, you say? Oh, I don't get that at all. They're short because they're not long. Well, that is plain to see, but how can they be tall as well? Explain that part to me. Tall tales tell of times gone by with heroes strong and great who did things you might not believe. Tall tales exaggerate. But did these heroes really live? Well, some of them did, not all. Some the deeds they did are real, but some they are tall. So tall can have two meanings. Not true is also tall. I'll read to you, you read to me until we've read them all. And this has got a lot of them listed in there and stuff they have. Let's see if I can find it. Annie Oakley, Davy Crockett, John Henry, Slewfoot Sue and Pecos Bill, Feebleson, Johnny Appleseed, Mose the Fireman, Sally Ann Thunder Ann Whirlwind, Paul Bunyan, Casey Jones. It's got 11. It's just a little short story about each one of them, so it wouldn't take a lot of time that way. I had to change hat. I made this hat last time and forgot to put it on. Here's my, if I get back far enough, I have to crouch down. Here's my tall tail hat. It's tall and it has tails. So it's a tall tail hat. Denise,
like
Denise gets my jokes. She really does. It's good.
Like I
Nobody
said,
else does, but Denise does. Okay, that one would fall off, so we're going to keep going.
Jody,
In your packet, you have a map, a Tall Tales map. Something maybe for the older kids, they have to tell you which of these tall tales goes where and stuff. Is he with the tornado, with the cactus? Is he in the mountains? Is he off the shore of the ocean? Or is he in the railroad tracks? And they can identify which, and maybe they have, maybe you have to have them read it first, and then they have to tell you where they are and place them in that way. I need the cornholes. Here. They're under the box of books. I also sent a template for a picture of Paul Bunyan. And so what I did was I blew him up and cut a hole in the top of, this is just a paper box. You could do a bigger box. So I have Paul Bunyan on one, and I have Babe the Blue Ox on the other one. And these would be a cornhole game. So then you just need a little bean bag and they could play. Somebody could be Paul Bunyan and the other team could be Babe the Blue Ox. And you could have a little cornhole tournament if you wanted to about tall tales. After you read Paul Bunyan, you could play Paul Bunyan or Corndale, or whatever. You have a paper towel holder puppets. Templates included in your packet. If you're having cut, probably a little bit older for the kids to cut them out. Not much for them to glue on. If you've got time to cut them out for the kids and put them in a little baggie and hand them to the kids or send them home and have them put it together, you could do it that way, be perfect. We have in our book with friends, we happen to have a Paul Bunyan and Babe the Blue Ox. And these are called Itty Bitties. They're from Hallmark. I have a connection with a friend from Hallmark, so I get a lot of this stuff, but they're just little itty bitties. They're kind of like a bean bag. You probably could use them for that. And then it comes with a book, Paul Bunyan book. Then one of the funnier Paul Bunyan stories I have read is The Bunions. So if you want something a little more humorous, maybe for just that little bit step up kids, just so they'll get the jokes and stuff, maybe something more like this would be good.
Does that have to do with anything to do with feet issues?
No,
Oh, okay.
that could be a whole nother subject. Whole nother. Our cut circle, we're great for cutting these items out. Thank you. Yes, you could use your Cricut. I included some coloring pages, Johnny Appleseed. I need the oatmeal box. If you wanted to do some kind of game with Johnny Appleseed, of course, we have Who Was Johnny Appleseed, a little fictional chapter book that we have and stuff. We have some oatmeal boxes so you could make it back up into Johnny Appleseed. Everybody, if you had one, or you wouldn't have to make a whole pack, but or they could collect, maybe if they read a book, they could put an apple in there. I have apples. I really do. So
I thought you
got
were
a
gonna
bunch of
say-
different, huh?
I thought you were gonna say you had oatmeal containers.
Not that many.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I have a few. I don't know if I'm gonna use them, but I have a few. Not as many as what I used to have. Anyhow, you could do apples and they could pick a game. You could do, I made just a little paper dice that you could have a couple kids sit, they can roll them. This says 1 red apple, 3 green apples. Who collects the most apples wins the game. Something like that, something very simple. I got an apple on the floor somewhere. I'll find it. It's not a big deal that way. Okay, where are we at now? I've included this, True and Tall Tales, something again for the little bit older. If you're looking for something for them to make a story out of, or even if it's just an oral story sitting in a group, or you're sitting out in the park outside, and you're going to go around the circle, you would ask them the question, why do rabbits have big ears? And hear what their response is, why rabbits have big ears, or why do frill-necked lizards have a frill? Yeah, I don't know about that. Why do elephants have flat feet? So it'd be some questions to get some thoughts going and create some crazy answers I think the kids would come up with on that one. So that would be good. If you wanted to do a really tall tale, you need a head. I gotta find the feet. And then you need the feet. So my story is lightning feet. So we have her, and here's her lightning feet. And in between is the story. So if you cut the kids a piece of newsprint or freezer paper and stuff, you put the head on the top of the story and the feet at the bottom of the story. I kind of got crazy. I should have shot off about here, but I kept going with my story. So these would be cute, very cute to hang around the library after the kids wrote their stories and stuff. I think for people to read, I think they'd get a kick out of those. Maybe they want to make them if they're littler kids as tall as they are and stuff. You could do that. But freezer paper works real well because you just could cut it in strips and not have to tape it together. That would work that way. That one. This where we're at. How Bear lost his tail. Did you know that bears at one time in their life had a long tail? A long time ago. I'm going to read this story to you. A bear had a long, shiny tail. He was so proud of his tail. And he bragged, oh, my tail is the best in the forest. Well, Fox, he got tired listening to bears bragging. So one cold day, Fox went to the frozen lake and sat by a hole in the ice. When he heard Bear coming, Fox said loudly to himself, oh, I can't use my tail to catch the fish under the ice. My tail just isn't shiny enough. Then he hid behind a tree. Oh, my shiny tail can catch the fish, Bear thought. So he dipped his tail into the freezing water and waited. And here he is with his shiny tail. But then he fell asleep. Fox watched Bear asleep. He watched him a long time. Finally, Fox crept up behind Bear. Then he shouted, wake up, woke up so suddenly that his frozen tail broke off. Then you have a bear with his normal size tail. That's what happened to the bear. Now you guys know the true story of the bear and his tail.
I like that one.
I'm glad. Now we just have a lot of little story finger plays. You have the 5 little speckled frogs. You can make them on a log. When the frog disappears, you can pull him down, pull him forwards, whatever. He's on a log and rolls. Have that one. Yeah, I don't know. Let's just do this one. Then you have the 5 little pigeons and stuff, and I just made them into finger puppets. You could cut them out for all the kids, or just you would have one with the finger puppet, and it goes with the story, the 5 little pigeons. So that works. The last kind of thing is the tortoise and the hare, of course, is one of the best stories to have with tails and stuff, because it is a famous tale. I sent you a game board that you could use. I made my own dice using some characters that I sent along with you for some clip art. 2 spaces, 3 spaces, 1 space. I made the little play pieces out of a film canister. You could use a spool. You could just roll up a piece of paper too and put, one's got the hare on it and one's got the tortoise on it. This I also think you could do in your parking lot. You could do around the library on the sidewalk. We did last year a lot of sidewalk stuff. You could make it a contest if you had 2 kids there. You could have 2 different paths. One path would be for the hare, one path would be for the tortoise. The hare would have some things he'd have to do along the way. The turtle would just kind of keep on going and maybe a few things to do and see who actually came out at the end. You know, maybe the hare had to read for 10 minutes and maybe the bunny only had to read for 2. I don't know, but I think this would be fun for if you didn't have a lot of kids, but a few kids, you could pair them up 2 at a time and send them. Once you send one group and they got kind of past the first obstacle, you could send another group behind them and see who in your land come out first, the tortoise or the hare, and see how that worked that way. I included a puzzle for you. All you need to do is print it off on cardstock. You can cut it out or the kids can cut it out and then they can put it together and have their own puzzle. Kind of did that one backwards, didn't I? Of course, that would go with the book, The Tortoise and the Hare. So that works that way. Just ready to show and tell. Just have some odds and ends of some stuff that we've collected. Yeah, that's fine. Since it is a tail theme, once you get on a roll, get your Amazon account out. You just go like crazy. So they have all the, we don't want to do that one first. We have all these soft books that have tails sticking out of them. So this one is Birdie Tails. Hang on. This is Rainbow Tails. Lots of tails there. No, we're not done yet. This is Pets Tails. So you have dogs and kitties and fishes and rabbits. I throw this one in. Naughty Noses. So if you want to go the other end, this has got some noses on there. This is Garden Tails. So these would be critters that live in your garden. And this would be work for next year. These are Ocean Tails. There's your big whale tail. A whale tail up here. We have, oh my goodness, we have circus tails. You didn't know there are so many tails in the world. Here's some fish tails. Once again, for next year would work too. Rainforest tails. I could do 1 week on each one of these. Jungle tails, all the animals that live in their jungles and their back ends you have there. We're close, we're close. We have woodland tails, all the animals that live in their forest. I bet this is a fox right there.
Yep.
I'm thinking. Oh, here's some more rainforest tails. These will be, I don't know about those sparkly ones. Those kind of scare me. And then of course around here we have farm tails. So then you're going to get your pigs and your cows, etc., etc. Those kind of tails. Yeah, I can. I'll do this first. Then we have, this is a hardbound book by Matthew Fleet, just called Tails. And it's one of those that has, on the wrong side here, has fuzzy things that stick out, or it has levers to pull so the tails go back and forth, open up, and there's that. Ew. And that's kind of rough and stuff. So it's a sensory book. You can touch things and feel things so long. But it's all about animals and tails. There's your crocodiles. And there's your piggies. And his tail, he's chasing the flies away. And this, I didn't scratch this one yet because I take that as a skunk. So scratch a sniff at the end. It shows you all those. So that's kind of a fun one. And then speaking of other animals, if you wanted to have, if you're brave, Denise is not so brave. She already told me that. Have everybody bring their pet. I know. To the library, turn them loose. No. Maybe you'd want to have them bring pictures of their pets to the library. Post them up and then people could vote on them. So you'd have vote for your favorite pets, whatever pet you have, and they could be cutest, longest tail, short tail, longest ears, short ears, whatever category you wanted to pick. I don't think you'd want all of them, but maybe 5 or 6, and have them pick a number and post it. And then of course you could hand out ribbons for first, second, third place of the different animals.
Which pet issued the worst bite?
Yeah.
We can vote on that.
I don't want to know that one.
I got that dog.
Which animal poops the most or the biggest? I mean, you could go really bonkers, but how much poop do you pick up? Don't ask my husband because he'll tell you. We also have, if you're doing pin the tail on anything, which you can make your own, but you also can order 9 million. They have pin the tail on the horse. You have pin the tail on the unicorn, I don't know where he's at. Pin the tail on the fox. I think, oh, here he is, because I opened him. So you can pin your tails. There he is. Pin the tail on the fox. Inside or outside, you could do that one easy enough. I think that would work. There is a book, just if you want to teach, it's more of a lesson book. If you wanted to, you got some really ornery kids. Tails that are not for pulling. If you'd like to stress that we don't pull tails on everything, maybe that would be a good one for, I don't think I need that one. Then we had, last year we had some sacks, and we're still trying to think what we had. I need to go look. But you can get Mermaid Tails if you wanted to have sack races. Or, what other tails did they say we were last time? You had all different colors, pink, blue, purple, and an orange, I believe. So, and they're not too expensive. And they did last. They had a little fringing at the top, but we didn't have any, and we had some good sized kids. We didn't have anybody that popped through the bottom of them or anything. So we put them away. We can use ours again for another time. If you're looking for something to decorate, Dollar Tree is the place to go. I found these mermaid tails. And yes, we've decided that won't even fit one of my thighs. So wearing that is not going to work. They also have this little mask you could get to go with it. This is creepy. I'm gonna turn it on. Lights up. You want? That just looks like some evil sea creature. I don't know, but anyhow. If you're looking for some decorations, or if you have some really little kids, they would fit into here. Denise, you have one of these?
No, I don't have one of those, but I was going to say you can get that creepy looking mask for only $1.
Only $1, yes.
And it lights up.
Hey, can't go wrong there, can you? And I had my grandkids. Let's do this one first. Well, let's do this one first. We don't do a lot of paint or glitter at the McCook Public Library, just as a warning. But so I had my grandkids do handprints and then turn them into some kind of animal. So here's one that's a fish. This one's a turtle.
Oh,
There she
flamingo.
goes. That's a flamingo. And then we had another kind of bird. So that's kind of fun. Doesn't, of course, if you did it outside on a table, would take nothing for it to dry in the sun. And washable paint, so that's not much for cleanup. Had a googly eyes. If you'd like to do their first letter of their name, and you'd cut it out. We got one with the V, yeah. So if my first name started with V, it would be Violet. No, it would not. And stuff, give them out. And then they could create an animal from their first letter. And you could get all sorts of examples to show them and stuff. And I'll so you guys can see them. Of course, you got your monkey and your iguana and your jaguar, your koala, elephant, a yak. There's lots of yaks running around. Zebra. But there's lots of examples you could show them. And they could either cut stuff out and attach it to. They could just color on their letter and do that and stuff like that way. So there'd be several ways they could do it. But that would be fun to display up in the library too. All these different animals made out of letters from their first name.
Right.
One more thing, I just want to tell everybody thank you. If you have any questions, give me a holler. But I do want to tell you goodbye in several different animal ways. So see you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Gotta go, buffalo. See you soon, raccoon. Be sweet, parakeet. Take care, polar bear. In a shake, greater snake. Hit the road, happy toad. Can't stay, blue jay. Bye-bye, butterfly. Give me a hug, ladybug. Time to scoot, little newt. Till then, penguin. Adios, hippos. Hasta mañana, iguana. Give me a kiss, goldfish. Get in line, porcupine. Out the door, dinosaur. On the bus, octopus. To your house, quiet mouse. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Jody.
You're welcome. And
Oh,
I thank
my
my
goodness.
right-hand man.
And thank you, Tracy.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
that was tremendous.
Good.
Lots of nice ideas
Hope
there.
you got some good ideas. Yes.